It's week 2 of the NFL. And coming up, it's two teams who made their NFL debuts together back in 1976. It's the Seahawks and the Buccaneers, and it comes your way next.
On the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium, just north of downtown Tampa. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
2 one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the 3rd overall selection back in 2018 from USC. It's Sam Darnold.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was harped upon all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
Darnold now to throw. And the screen unsuccessfully dropped it.
And they want to get him going early in this one because, remember, he struggled throwing the football last week, and he's firing away to start this one. But that one was incomplete.
And they'll run. It's Ken Walker. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Now Darnold. That is caught. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Had to put that ball in there with a little extra zip, but he put it right where it needed to be.
Yeah, and that little extra pace that he had on the pass, that required a little extra concentration for him, didn't it? Ball can get on you pretty quick in that manner, and he handled it well and picked up the first down.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. And this unit, very tough to throw against. Currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Tough spot here. 3rd down and 11. To throw is Darnold. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there in the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
And he comes off a tough opening matchup. Threw way too many interceptions in that game. Definitely not the way you want to kick off a new season. So he said to himself, I've got to throw that game out. I'm going to get a fresh start right here in week 2.
They'll start on the ground with Irving. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Mayfield. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion right here. There's Evans again, complete. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Another catch for him there. This one good for 11, first down. A quick throw caught by Evans out wide. The numbers for Evans in last week's ball game: 8 catches, 90 yards.
And you can tell early, they're going to look his way quite a bit, and he made himself available on that one.
2 yards to go, second down. Baker going to give it to Irving. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. 14 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. Once again, it's Irving. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Mayfield. This one taken in by Otten. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, only their first drive, Charles, but they talked to us about needing to convert on 3rd down, in particular not letting 3rd and short opportunities slip through their fingers. Well, they were successful right there.
It also tells you that they're successful on 1st and 2nd down as well to get to 3rd and manageable and make them able to pick up those first downs. Now here we are, 1st and goal. They've got to like what they're doing on this drive.
And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Buccaneers are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll send the tight end in motion left. A play fake, and it's Darnold. They'll roll him out. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Play action. It's Darnold. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way down to the 26. It's a big play there for Seattle. 63 yards. Pretty good yards after the catch there on that crossing route. Is a crossing route good for a quarterback because the receiver's coming across his line of vision?
They love those kind of throws. And how many times have you seen any of what we call an in-breaking route? Quarterback really turns it loose, doesn't he? Has a lot more confidence because he can see the play right in front of him.
Up the middle they run. It's Walker. Down right around the 25. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. These are his numbers from last week's contest. A boatload of carries, 130 yards.
So coming off the opener where they established the run and established it well, their goal is to make sure that the trend continues and to serve notice to the rest of the league that they might be a run-first team.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Here is 3rd down and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter. 2nd down and 8. Here's Darnold. Looking middle, and that's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4. And they're going to face a 3rd down. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Darnold. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from evening this one up. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. A first carry for Rachaad White. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. To throw, Mayfield. A quick pass here to Godwin. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. They'll try and run here with Irving. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Mayfield to throw it. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Here's Mayfield. Throw out wide is incomplete. That right there, his first incompletion so far in this game, Charles. He was 9 of 9 before that.
Yeah, I think that qualifies as being locked in. And then you have to ask him the question, so what caused the incompletion? Come on, man, get back on your game. Let's go.
To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Reek Woolen on the coverage there defensively.
Give him credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field. And
frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Left side, he finds Smith and Jigba. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. Now they trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Going right back to Smith and Jigba. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It's a gain of 34.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he stopped immediately there. The tackle made by Zion McCollum. Here's 2nd and 10. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick 6.
McLaughlin now to add the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And a nifty return there all the way across the 40. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Darnold Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. They're looking to bounce back following the loss to Miami a week ago, and they've got the lead right now as they come up with a 1st and 10. Following the interception, Mayfield. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Throwing, Mayfield. He's into space past the 25. And he gets this one down to the 24. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Mayfield looks to throw. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Mayfield now. Finding Otten once more. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And the Buccaneers are going to have 1st and goal coming up as they're able to convert there on 3rd and 2.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
Back to throw again. Forced out to his left. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Baker Mayfield with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Buccaneers are able to widen their advantage. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Now the ball now going back over to the Seattle Seahawks offense. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's Darnold. And Darnold going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And now they start in plus territory following that turnover as they'll try to get some points here before halftime. In motion left, Godwin. From the gun, Mayfield. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. Now Mayfield. He's got Otten. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll look to throw again. Dancing to his left. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Baker Mayfield taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bucs are able to add on to their first half lead. So after the disappointment in the opening week loss, Charles, this looks like really a completely different football team.
They sure do, and I think they realize we can't start 0-2, and they're determined to not let it happen by the looks of things here in the early going.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Well, now how about this return? And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Seahawks going to take over now late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. Finding Smith and Jigba downfield. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 62 yards. And the Seahawks get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll cut this to a 17-point spread. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. One more drive here for the Buccaneer offense in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Mayfield. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the 44, Mayfield. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Only 29 yards on the punt there, definitely not his best. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we've hit halftime here in Tampa with the Bucs out in front. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The Bucs were treated to a fine first half by their quarterback. That's Baker Mayfield. He accounted for 3 touchdowns in that first half. 1 in the air, 2 more on the ground. And he's been electrifying to this point. This was an extremely one-sided first half. One team showed up, ready to go. The other's been in a daze thus far. But there's still plenty of time left for this one to tighten up significantly.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. A run up the middle with Irving. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going. The Seahawks offense has Sam Darnold headed back out there. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets. And it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Here's Walker to start the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Darnold now to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A play fake, and it's Darnold. That is incomplete.
I've got a good friend in football who always talks about predictive history. He's got one of their 2 touchdowns. You can understand why they tried to find him again. Weren't able to connect, but the thought, that was good.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs' 34-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 19.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, trying to get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now Darnold. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
Yeah, boy, here's a sight you don't want to see. Ken Walker injured on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throw left side, complete to Kupp. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They'll run for it with Charbonnet.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Here's Darnold. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw is Darnold. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Noah Fant, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit.
That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now.
This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. On the ground, it's Irving to start the drive. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Mayfield to throw it. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Here's Mayfield. Otten brings it in over the middle. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Final minute now of the third quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
47 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the 4th. They'll send a receiver in motion left. Throwing, Mayfield. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. They go play action. Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field.
And this group has suffered far too many self-inflicted wounds thus far as we run through some of the mistakes. It's darn near impossible to win in this league when you're turning the ball over at the frequency that they have.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Now it's Darnold. This is the tight end Fant. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Darnold. This is Fant on the short completion. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
On 1st and 10, it's Charbonnet.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Back to throw, Darnold.
Throwing the out route, and he connects with Fant. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Out of the gun, a give to Charbonnet.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Darnold.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And now another one thrown incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Myers' kick is good. And this is back down to a 7-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
Mayfield looks to throw.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Getting in there and knocking that pass down was Ernest Jones.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The Seahawks offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Open man right side is Cup, complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down. Darnold from the gun. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Ball start, offense.
Well, this feels like a late season game, even though it's just week 2. Here's a big third down. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Buccaneers defense holds and they get the football back. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts, as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Going right side is White. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Tampa Bay, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Seattle, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.